I've been around people for a long time, and I built businesses where I had to attracted people from all walks of life, nationality, ethnicity, it doesn't matter. It was one of the best exercises because I would learn about culture, whether it's the difference between somebody that's Mexican from Michoacan versus a Mexican from Jalisco versus a Mexican from Zacatecas versus, El Salvador versus Guatemalan versus Jews versus, all these different types of things you look at, right?
Yeah, that makes sense.
So, and then you look at them like, I meet somebody, I'm like, why do you believe in socialism? Why do you believe in, one time I'm in a dinner with a guy who's about to marry a girl, and we're going out there to learn about her for the first time. He was one of my main players in the company, and I'm sitting there listening to her talk. And we go into this argument of, gay rights is like civil rights. I said, gay rights is civil rights. I said, yeah. Tell me why. And she starts trying to give this argument. I said, do you believe in what she's saying? And he doesn't know what to say, so he sides with me because he's a very much a Christian conservative himself. But he's stuck in this sphere that he doesn't know what to do. So eventually, I keep continuing to talk to her because I want to learn why she believes in what she believes in. So do you think progressives can help themselves because they're born that way? And do you think you are who you are because you were born that way? Or do you think you are who you are and believe in what you believe in because your father taught you well, where if your father was, let's pick a man, if your father was Gavin Newsom, you would have been a very different human being?
Oh, I think it's both. I think that you're a product of genes and environment, just like an alcoholic. You could have a propensity for alcoholism, but if no alcohol is present, right, you never have to worry about being an alcoholic. This is the same exact thing with environment versus genetics. I do think that I have some predispositions to some types of behaviors, and if I was raised by a leftist, perhaps I would engage in a more left-wing attitude towards things for a while until I started questioning things. Now, I didn't come to the view, my father's view, completely because he taught it to me. I came to it because when I rebelled against it, it was disastrous.
Tell me about that time.
Oh, I mean, I was essentially a delinquent in my my early 20s. I mean, I was very...
But what contradicted the values he taught you? Like, what behavior did you do that contradicted what he was saying?
I was promiscuous. I moved away from God. I moved away from the teachings of Jesus Christ. I moved away from everything.
For how long?
I don't know, years. Let's see, probably a good 7 years.
How bad was the fall?
I mean, it wasn't so terrible that I was robbing liquor stores, but it was bad enough that I became part of the apparatus of the delinquent portion of the world. I didn't care about very much. Nothing was particularly important to me. It was a very nihilistic mindset, and most of it was based purely around materialistic goals and the idea of self-gain. None of it, in other words, there was nothing I was engaging in that wasn't completely selfish and self-centered. Not a single thing in retrospect.
What brought you back?
I think my wife ultimately brought me back. She seemed to see something in me. She seemed to see something good in me.
How'd you guys meet?
We actually met online, believe it or not. And she had children, and we dated, and we had a real rocky start. You know what I mean? But she just didn't give up on me, man.
At that time, if I knew you, would I have considered you a Christian nationalist, conservative? Would I have said the day she met you?
Yeah, you would have considered me like a cringe libertarian, self-centered jerk, probably.
A cringe libertarian, self-centered jerk.
Yeah.
Give me an example of someone that's like that today, where I could kind of.
I don't know. I guess ideologically, let's say Dave Smith.
Okay.
Okay. I'm not saying that Dave Smith is a delinquent jerk.
You just called him a cringe.
I'm just saying. I'm saying that he is a cringe libertarian, and I would say it to his face. Okay, and I've debated with Dave many times, and won every time. But anyway, the point is
you guys? I'm assuming you guys are friends.
Yeah, we're friends.
Yeah,
I've got no problems with Dave at all. Nothing but nice things to say about him. He's always been very kind to me. But the delinquent part would be, I don't know, just take just the typical guy who really doesn't care as far as dating goes, is willing to rack up bodies, is willing to bang random chicks, doesn't really care.
Got it. So she was one of maybe the second reason outside of your dad for you to go back to being a Christian values, conservative values. Would you say she influenced that?
Probably more than any other individual, yes.
Including Dad?
Including Dad. Yeah.
Tell me, what was the reason?
I think because when you have somebody who has that kind of faith in you, they have that kind of trust in you, that kind of faith in you, and they lean that heavily on you. And they put all of that faith in you. It's hard for you not to begin to recategorize things in life. And one of the things you have to recategorize is, it's not all about me. This really isn't all about me. Now there's kids involved, there's a woman involved. There's other aspects of life here which transcend what I might want for me. And the idea that somebody puts the type of faith in you that you can lead in that type of situation, I think that more than any other single thing, that probably brought my faith back to me.
So was it a first time where somebody spoke hope and belief in you, like, I believe in you, you're capable of doing something bigger? Was it a language like that?
First time.
First time in your life?
Really?
Well, that's magical. By the way, it's funny you say that, because to me, the first time in my life I experienced that language was by a guy named Kogan. When I was about to re-enlist in the Army, I'm 20 years old, he calls me, he speaks that language to me, and I'm at that time, I'm just a regular punk that's partying 6 days a week. I'm in the Army just, living.
What was your MOS?
63 Bravo. I was Hummer mechanic. I was living by the way, Vinny and I almost re-enlisted last night after the president gave $1,750. We almost thought about getting back in.
I almost called Pete Hexet.
All three, me, you, and Rob were like, listen, guys, let's just go. They wouldn't let Adam, though. Adam, there was like, you can't show him. They won't let him go.
They said
Tom's above the age.
It wasn't that long ago. You get $50,000 for signing up.
Oh, yeah.
$1,750. That's real money. We're talking about
so $1,405,000. Yeah.
No, but let me tell you, I actually like the fact that he's doing that, because it's active. 1.45 million people he's given that to. But going back to it, he spoke that language. I did not know what that sounded like. And the language was why I shouldn't re-enlist in the Army and I should get out because I can make it as a civilian. And up until that point, I was the fun guy you would go and have party with, and I was very good at math, and I couldn't stand anything else. I was the opposite of you. I was the math guy. Mm-hmm. I was a guy that had an easy time with calculus or math analysis or trigonometry. That was my world. I see everything through numbers. But so wife speaks that language. You've never had this experience. Then you say, I need somebody like this in my life. Then you guys get married.
Well, it wasn't quite that uncomplex, but yes, essentially. We dated for a few years and then got married, yes.
How long have you guys been together?
Total 18 years.
18 years.
Yeah, married for 12 of it.
Married 12, together 18 years. Okay.
My name is Andrew Wilson, host of The Crucible. As you guys know, I'm a political analyst and a political satirist. If you want to talk directly with me, as many of my audience have requested that they be able to do, I've been able to carve out a system on this platform, Connect, in order to do that with you. That's on Connect. You can ask me whatever questions that you want. We can talk debate. We can talk strategy. We can talk about basically whatever it is that you've been wanting to talk with me about, and I hope to see all of you there.
If you enjoyed this video, you want to watch more videos like this, click here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click here.